Real talk, real stories with Adrena Marie.
Welcome, Atlanta. This is your girl, Adrena Marie, with real talk, real stories. We're definitely in the building here at Reverb, live with some of my good friends, Kofi Shakur and Bob Johnson. How you guys doing today?
All right, how you doing? Good.
I don't know if they're a little bit excited or they're just thrilled, but we got some hot topics that we're going to talk about that these gentlemen are doing in the city of Atlanta. We are the change. We have definitely got together with a group of collective workers and responsible people that are doing extraordinary things right now here in Atlanta. So we're going to start with you, Kofi. Kofi actually, about 2 years ago, he came here and we walked the streets of Auburn Avenue. Of course, you guys know I am a member of Wheat Street Baptist Church. And he actually came in and did a security ground project for us. In those 2 years, he has established something that we call the People's Police. I am so excited about this because we got to be the change. We're always waiting for people to come in and protect and serve our community. But we are doing it right now, right here at Reverb Radio with your girl, Adrena Marie, Real Talk, Real Stories. Kofi is going to share with us just a little bit about exactly what the People's Police is. So, Kofi, can you just give us a little insight of what the People Police is?
Yeah, so like basically what the People's Police is, it's exactly what you said. It's our way of serving and protecting ourselves. You know, but like one of my elders have a book out that says we are our own liberators. You know, from the Black Panther Party. It was actually the idea came to me when I was like 14 years old.
Wow.
I'm born in the Black Panther Party, so we had a thing called the Panther Patrol, and you know, that was attacked a lot. But
Definitely remember that. That was with your mom,
right,
Fulani.
right. So I just took that idea.
We love you, Mama Fulani.
As I grew up, and just you know, kind of revamped it. You know what I'm saying, and made it into our own police service. You know what I'm saying. Since I grew up, you know, doing security, always doing that. That's just my thing.
Right.
I'm really comfortable doing that. And in Atlanta, Auburn Street is where I got my start when I was 17 years old.
Look
and
at
I figured
God.
I wanted to do this and also make money with it, you know.
Right.
And it was the police department there that kind of looked after me, you know, like when I was doing that. So, you know, and it gave me an idea, you know, as I grew, you know, saying, okay, like, you know, let's just participating in a lot of activism growing up and seeing things. You know, I've had, you know, I've been around police officers who I've had good relationships with and not so good relationships with, you know. So we all know how police started in this country, you know, in a very bad way, you know what I'm saying, as you know, slave patrols and this and that. So, and as it grew into a corporate thing.
Right.
But it's never ever been actual law enforcement in this country.
And especially not for the people.
Outside of the American Indians,
Right.
you know, like before the foreigners came, you know what I'm saying, with the Chatas, you know, people like Bass Reeves, and all these people were already law enforcement. Most people don't know that the other foreigners came here and learned governance and law enforcement from us.
Wow.
You know, they didn't teach Bass Reeves. Bass Reeves was teaching them.
Wow.
So,
And that's a good point because I know, like when my son was murdered, it took the police 39 minutes to come on Martin Luther King and Joseph Lory, which was very weird because the hospital was only 10 minutes away. And so, like, when I did discuss, like, that situation with you, I mean, it just kind of all fit, you know, especially with bringing the People's Police here in Atlanta and letting us be the first launch of that. And Wheat Street is a great place to start because we have that is our historic preservation, you know,
area,
and we want to be able to give back. And it was like, well, you know, I sat there for like a year almost, like in a fog of like, how do we take action? What do we do as a people to be able to protect and serve? Actually, you literally are doing that and not us waiting on people to come and actually do that for us. So with your program and when you came in and how you you walked with me and showed me how, that can work and how we can hire the people that's already in that community. Tell me a little bit about that and how you can deputize the community members instead of us going through a police academy. Let the community know a little bit about that so that they can sign up and kind of be involved with this.
Well, basically, that process that you're talking about is the People's Commission, and so basically, the People's Commission is something I developed. It's again, it's after Black Panther style politics, because it was the way we were taught. We get right in there with our people, and that's a lot of people are not doing that outside of churches and
Right.
other organizations, which is why they still have pull, because they're right in your face. They're at least coming to your doorstep,
Right.
and that's what Panthers used to do and other organizations used to do back then. But so basically, the People's Commission is just it's like a tool for the community to use to commission in your life the things that you need and that we need in our community. And that's a legal tool that you can use that we're not taught because they don't want you to use it. But you can actually administer law in your own community and make these changes. You know what I'm saying? Because once you, there's a thing called equity and contract law. And that rules everything. So that rules state law, all of that. So if you as a community come together and say, okay, we don't want this, we don't want to accept this. We got prostitution, we got child sex trafficking. We have some police that seem to think that they're the terror of the town, and they just come here taking advantage of women and doing all kind of things. Not that everybody's doing that, so this is not a blanket, banging on every police officer.
Right.
But we do know, you work for a corporation that you're saying that is
And
at war with our people.
And I don't mean to cut you off, but their corporation is not set up to protect the people.
Right. Oh no, it's not.
Okay,
It's not.
And that's the biggest issue ever, because
Right.
when we call 911, we expect help.
Right.
Our tax dollars pay for ambulance services and
Right.
the police to come to a scene.
Right.
And if they're not coming to protect the people, they're really coming in to assess the situation. And sometimes they might be a little bit still violent about it because they don't know how to come in for the people.
Right.
And
Right. They're
that's-
not taught that, and it's
Right.
not their policy. As police means policy enforcer. So a lot of people ask me, why would you want to call it police? Especially with your background, what you come from, because the word police in and of itself is not necessarily bad, and we have to have. Getting back to the People's Commission, it's the people's policy.
Right.
So it's our policy we'll be enforcing. And just real quick to piggyback off what you just said, part of the reason why we don't get remedy is because law is not at play here.
Right.
What we've been taught and to think is law is not. Which is why anybody who ever been approached by the police or dealt with them, you only hear them talking about codes and statutes. You never hear them talking about law because they're not law enforcers.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So they're corporate. They are corporate mercenaries and security guards. As a security guard, they go through the same thing that any security guard to have. You gotta have a guard card, this and that. It's the same thing. It's a corporation. Law enforcement doesn't need that. You need to be commissioned. You need to be, well trained, and your duty is geared toward exactly what you're there for. And that's saving lives and helping the people.
And I want to bring Bob in on this discussion too, because he does a lot in the community, and to protect and serve, especially. You do an extraordinary job with bringing our people together. And I know from the start of Juneteenth here in Atlanta, when we walked down that first street on Martin Luther King coming from Washington High School area, we had a small number then when you first started. And Juneteenth has just blew up to a whole nother level. And for security, while we're on that with Kofi, what is your insights of what do you think about the People's Police and us having something to secure our people with?
Yeah, I think that's great. I think that even in doing Juneteenth, we always use people from the community for our security, even though that wasn't really a part of the permitting process.
Okay.
You have to have certain, so-called law enforcement, for that. But we've always just naturally had our own.
And I know you work with the street groomers too,
Yeah,
as
absolutely.
well.
Everyone, the community,
The
period.
community, yeah.
Shout out to the
With
street
no
groomers.
limitations whatsoever. So we've had people who've just come out, for that, from many different organizations like the Panthers, for instance, the gun clubs, Huey Newton Gun
Okay.
Club.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and different other.
And how did that work for you when you brought those individuals out? Was it a better flow of the energy?
Yeah, absolutely. It was natural. It was like, members of the community as opposed
Right.
to, it's much more comfortable, for people because it's like we're family.
Right.
We're
And I
familiar.
and I kinda, yeah, and I kind of got that vibe because, like, when you walk into Centennial, everybody is so excited about knowing their roots.
Yeah.
Even if it's just an inch of what they learn, from what you guys been bringing as collectives. I really appreciate the harmony behind all of that. So, exactly what you're saying, I witnessed that, and I think that's an extraordinary thing. So, I definitely want you and Kofi to kind of merge and get together a little bit.
I can't wait for that.
It's going to be very exciting because he's very not militant, but he's very serious about his duty to our
Right.
people, and it's really an act against humanity. And if we cannot protect and serve our people, then who are going to protect and serve us? And I'm so happy that we have individuals like yourselves that are here that I have witnessed personally that is doing this, and this is what's needed. So Kofi, back to the People's Police. I have one more question for you. How is it when you do deputize the people in the community? Do you have to go through like APD department, or your department has to let them know in conjunction that you're bringing this type of service to the community? How does that work in basically what you said in the law?
Right. Well, no, we wouldn't go through them because we're two different entities. We're American Indian. I know my family is Chata.
Explain that a little bit because I want
Yeah,
the
I
guests
was
to
going
really
to
understand that.
Right.
With your
so
rights.
in this country, like I said before, law enforcement wasn't, like when I talk about Bass Reeves, a lot of people, I'm not going to go into that because we know a lot of people know about Bass Reeves and don't. But we know the Lone Ranger was said to be, they used his story and they put this white guy in Lone Ranger. But as you learn his story, please go look at his story. They'll tell you that he was a slave boy who just, got mad over a card game and fought his master and he got free. So they, but it was bigger than that. First of all, that type of chattel enslavement wasn't across the board like that. And more what happened to us Chata is that they stole our land and put us into servitude, and now there was chattel slavery, like we see on TV, around, and more in the Central America, they would send people they didn't like down there,
Right.
But for us, it was more so being forced to work for these foreigners and having all our property taken away. After we had taught them, after we had, we were the main civilized tribe in this area. So we were the keepers of the mounds. We're the mound builders. We were the one who were who had Cahokia. The Cahokia Mounds was the last great civilization before the big attack. So basically, to answer your question, no, we would not ask permission. But I do have something I was working on last night. Just how are we going to work together? Because the thing is that they're here.
Right.
So we're not coming antagonizing like, hey, like how a lot of groups do. And a lot of groups think that that's, the way. And if that's your thing, but that's not law enforcement. We're here to enforce law on our own land.
Right.
And so
For the people, guys. Okay.
when it comes to de facto, we don't have to ask their permission. This is our land.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like we have to. What we need to
Educate
and have
us.
to do is
Exactly.
form some kind of understanding on our land with whoever is doing any kind of security work, law enforcement, homeland security, or whatever. You're saying this is our home, so of course we're down to save it and work for it. And so as long as they respect us, we'll respect them.
Right, and we definitely want that unity, and we definitely want that collective work, because it's going to take all of us. You govern the properties, and we'll take care of our people, and that's pretty much the bottom line here, because we are sick and tired of waiting on the government, our state, other people in office to come in and actually do something for our people. And if we cannot secure the land and make sure that we have our proper security, then we'll be by the wayside. So I'm so happy that we're here having this conversation and bringing it to the table, and who other than Kofi and Bob Johnson to definitely step in this roundtable discussion and give us the business. So I am gonna give people your information, but is there any way they can contact you if they want to sign up or get more information about it? You want to leave a shout out with that?
Yeah, right now you can just email me at People's Police Department gmail.com.
Okay.
You can just send me an email for right now, because we're getting a lot of things reset up, because we had a good operation going in Florida, and then
Okay.
some things happen, because at times they will try to scare you, but everything, we ended up standing our ground. They tried to hit me with a impersonating the police thing.
Okay.
I'll say this and be short, but it was actually good for me. A lot of people
Right.
were scared. They thought I was gonna go, be locked up. But the thing is, when you know the law and you understand that you're not scared, it actually ended up in my favor, with the
Right.
prosecutor and everybody having
And
meetings
that was
with them.
kind of weird, because you
and all
were
that.
protecting the school ground, and that was kind of weird for them to even come at you like that. I remember that situation a little bit. So I'm glad that you were able to work through that and actually show people that, hey, look, we don't need to ask permission.
Yeah,
This is
we
our
doing it
land,
respectfully, but
respectfully.
we're not
Yeah.
doing it as if we're under anybody, because we're
Right.
not.
That's right.
We're not under these. Saying this is a business deal. Some say a business deal going bad. At least a lot of us
Okay.
Indians, we like to say this is a business deal going bad,
Mm-hmm.
because we were doing business. So it's not
Right.
bad with everybody neither, but we were doing business, and that's what led to all of this corporatizing of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're just trying to balance the playing field and bring justice.
And we're going to be
that's
on
what we're
Arbor Avenue. We're taking back our community one block at a time, and we are going to stand. Now, some people, our elders, don't have to do what we are here to do now. And we have such a great young body of, God's children that are here to actually implement this. And Bob is actually going to have something on the 24th at the City Hall, right, Bob?
29th.
Oh, the 29th.
Last day of the month, that's Thursday, the 29th.
Yeah, Bob, tell us a little bit about that. But I want to go into, before we start talking about that event, I want to know, what does Juneteenth offer Atlanta during that event that you're doing in that weekend? What does Juneteenth offer for our city?
Okay, so, man, this has been an interesting conversation, and I'm gonna hop right in on some of the things that you all were
let's hop
discussing.
in. Let's roll this thing up, okay?
So underlying objectives for Juneteenth Atlanta are really what we're talking about right now.
Righteous.
Freedom, number one,
Amen.
liberty, human rights, and because of the way things are, social justice,
Right.
most definitely. Judicial reform, how do we do things and how do we work together? Status correction, very important.
Enlighten me on that part.
People just knowing, like we're talking about American Indians.
Okay, yes.
A lot of people don't have a clue.
Not at all.
They, and there's just all of these stories that have been given to us about who we are.
Right.
We've been everything but who we are. We're indigenous, we're aboriginal, we're we're American Indians, you know, and the reason a lot of these titles come with pluses and minuses. So if for instance, if you're an African American or whatever, or you know, things of this nature, then you don't have any claims. You don't have any claims like you would if you were an American Indian. You know, you got claims. You know, and
see, a lot of people don't know that difference between
equitable standing in law.
American
and law. Yeah, discussing
American.
laws. It all boils down to law, and so status correction and people just being aware of this information is important. So to answer your question, like, what do? We're trying to educate people, spoon feed, you know, with people who are knowledgeable,
Right.
who really know, you know, and have information that we can put out there and share, you know, with the public.
And so that's pretty much like with the parade and the parade you do that kind of like lead into all the organizations that's kind of like coming together with you.
Yes.
Yeah, you have the dialect of different information from all these parties where you're kind of putting it all in one pot.
That's what we're looking to do. Actually, so the Juneteenth, what does it do? It's like a big family reunion.
Right. I so felt that. And I know when you first started, and Bob always have his daughters with him, so I'm surprised they're not here, but I forgot it's a school day.
I'm picking them up after I leave.
Okay.
And they're out of school right now.
It's so funny because, like, when you first started, it just felt so authentic, you know? Bob, like, we have not had anything in the city like this since Martin Luther King, really.
Wow.
I mean, and that's big to say. And I'm only saying that because the energy that you get from Juneteenth and even the parade, it feels like family. Everybody is so excited. Like, you don't even know what you're excited for. Like, you might not even know the history of it. But when all that energy comes together for our ancestors and we're all collectively in one spot, I got chills a little bit. It is so radiant to see that. Yeah. And I know you don't really get to enjoy a lot of the stuff that you're congregating around the event, but I would truly be adored if you can enjoy at least a little bit of it this year, instead of, like, you know, being the boss.
I think I will. It's gotten so much, like you said, so much bigger, and I can address, like, even with the parade and you know, the event. We're in our 12th year now, and we've never had a security issue of any kind. Never once. Never once.
And praise God for that, because that,
we're
like you
very
said,
thankful for that.
You
it's
have
very
the security.
peaceful.
It was very
you
peaceful.
Know, like you see everything out there, from our sisters with the strollers with the newborns, and all the way to our great grand elders.
Right.
You know, so it's like the entire community, entire family, and people just don't. The energy is
it's a different feel.
It's peaceful.
Yeah,
you know, people are just out there, just kind of like, I don't know why I'm here, but I know this is
where
I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be here. You know, do you know how the parade started?
I know when you first started.
You should know.
I do.
A little something.
I don't know, like.
It was in the West End.
It wasn't in the West End, but I started with you when we marched from
so that
Washington High School.
That was later.
That was later.
Because it actually started not as a parade, and it was when we were at the Shrine of the Black Madonna. So, and that's in the West End, Atlanta.
The Shrine of Black Madonna, guys.
And so, at that point in time, that was in the early days of, you know, I started Juneteenth in 2012, and this was 2014. That my first Juneteenth was at the Georgia International Convention Center in College Park, and then of course we did something in Perkinson Park that was kind of small, and then we moved it to the Shrine of the Black Madonna. So when that was 2014 14, and that year I was doing a lot of education because people didn't even know what Juneteenth was.
Right.
And so,
and guess what? I didn't know like fully until you marched from my daughter's school, and I said, "That's Bob."
I think that was 2015.
Okay, but I was like, "That's Bob. Bob, what are you doing? I'm coming.
All these people.
I'm in the street too. Where are we going?" You know, and it was like a plague of people coming out of their houses and the businesses, and we were just like, it was like a magnet, and I was like, "Let me follow you."
Yeah, we were building up to that, but it actually started. I was canvassing the West End, just trying to get the word out to people and tell them what it was about. And I ran across assisted living seniors residency. And, of course, we went in and invited our elders. Hey, we want y'all to come. We're going to be at the Shrine of the Black Madonna. It's right around the corner. You know, we're going to do this thing, and gave them the dates and all of that. And I was so disappointed when they told me they couldn't come because they had certain people in their within the residency that had certain medical conditions, and they couldn't go out and stay long periods of time, you know, and they travel as a group and so on and so forth. So right away I just said, well, you know what, we're going to bring it to you. We're going to bring the event to you.
How about that?
We're going to start by bringing the event to you.
How about that?
And I didn't even know what I was saying, but
I know that's right.
I mean, basically I just wanted to include them.
Yes.
And you know
definitely.
Masiki Scales?
Heard.
Yeah, he was. I went and grabbed him. He's a musician, so I went and grabbed him, and he got a couple of people together, and I got some young ladies, a double Dutch team, and I got some Shaker Rays, and
the drummers.
Got me a couple of drummers.
Yeah, the drummers.
and I just had these people who we got together, and I said we need to kind of walk the streets, you know, and head to the Shrine of the Black Madonna and stop by the seniors' home and just pay tribute to our seniors,
to our elders.
To our elders, and you know, ask them for permission to go do this thing over here.
That's right.
And so that's what we did.
He did that.
That's what we did. We went there, and when we got there, because they didn't know if we were going to actually do that.
Right.
But we did it.
And then I know they probably was just so
when
excited.
we showed up, they were all out there in the yard. I still have the pictures. And they just stood up. They stood up, and the double Dutch girls did their double Dutch. The drummers drummed, the shaker rate, you know, all of that. It went down, and it was a tearjerker. There were tears everywhere.
Right.
And they were just so happy. So anyway, make a long story short, the parade started as a promise to our elders.
That's beautiful.
To include them in something that it wasn't intended to be. You know, it was just a way to include them and keep a promise. And now today, we have one of the largest parades, like Juneteenth parades in the country.
You most definitely do.
And we're going to be on the White House line on June the 19th.
June 19th, guys.
Having the first Juneteenth celebration on the White House line.
You hear me? From the bankhead to the White House.
From 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., which I never, ever would have. I mean,
11 to 7?
Yeah, that was never a goal of mine or anything that I was like, hey,
that's divine.
Let's make it to the White House. Never even a thought.
Right.
But we're invited this year to be representing Georgia in its role that we played here collectively, all of us, everyone in this room, in making Juneteenth America's newest holiday. And also,
praise God.
You know, and what does that mean? So that means, okay, so you all are recognizing in law that
in law
Juneteenth, you know, the so-called end of slavery, so that now it's reparations. Okay, so now you know that we are admitting these things, and we even have a national holiday.
You understand?
You know, to celebrate it. So now we need to get that check.
I'm trying to tell you, guys, reparations is in. Okay.
So reparations is a big part of what we do at Juneteenth Atlanta. You know, with the education, and you know, we're having, and I want to use this word powwow. Oh, yeah. However, my brother tells me that's not the word. you know, that's
Why not?
yeah, well, it's kind of a little more deeper than I can get into. That's why I want to
Okay.
bring him to your show,
Oh,
and I
most
want to
definitely.
introduce him to Kofi because
Most
he's
definitely.
he's all about the American Indians and
Oh,
all
most
of the
definitely.
different
We got
families.
corrupted by the Native Americans.
Exactly, and he
A
said
lot
we
of
are not
terminology.
Native Americans; we're
It's not
American Indians.
necessarily American Indians. It's for these groups. See, the first attack before these Europeans were Genghis Khan's people. See, that's why they have chinky eyes and they kind of look Asian, because they are. You know, they are not Indians. They made it with some of us. So that's why you'll see some of them. Our phenotypes look alike, and they just look like the light skinned versions of us, the ones who really, you know, fell in love with us. You know, and then you have a bunch of them who during our fight we pushed them to those outskirts. So that's why they're known as Plains Indians and stuff like that. You see them with the teepees and stuff like that, because that they never elevated past that level. You know, and then they got with the Europeans to take our birthright, to steal our
Native,
birthright.
yeah.
Which is why we don't call
Long
ourselves.
story short,
Isn't
that's
that,
it.
isn't that funny though?
That you got us two together.
You understand what I'm saying
I know,
about
yeah,
history?
yeah,
okay?
absolutely.
This is our history, and we must be
Thank you.
changed.
That's exactly.
This
what-
is just
Yeah, because I always say you can't fight properly if you don't know what happened.
if you don't know what
You see,
happened.
because our people
Say
are
that.
stuck in an old, worn-out slave narrative that didn't actually happen like that. And so, which is part of the reason why we've had so much trouble, because we don't even know our own full story.
There it is.
But we out here championing for it. We
Right.
did a good enough job. Our elders did what they did.
Right.
But now we have a whole lot more access to what actually happened, you know, saying the information, and we have to, we owe it to ourselves.
We do.
owe it to ourselves and our children and our ancestors to redeem their souls, to get this right, to know who you are.
Yeah,
you know,
and the truth
and
is
you know
the
what I'm saying?
truth.
So you can know how
Yeah.
better to fight the situation when you know
Right.
what happened to you.
And then we won't get brutalized about how the police, one example, are treating our regular citizens, like the elder that got killed by the two cops and the one cop and the tow truck driver. They killed him with it. They put their knee on his neck or something.
Oh yeah, I mean that's one of many. I
It's
mean
just-
that.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, that
that's
type
a-
of brutality
Yeah, that's a trail of
has to
stories.
stop, you know. And if we as the people can stabilize our own policing, I think that's where it starts, because I don't want you coming into my neighborhood and you don't know my people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just like my son, he stood up for an elder and ended up losing his life on Martin Luther King and Joseph Laurie. So it's like, you want to be the change. Why do I have to wait 39 minutes for you to come save my son when I have my brother and my sister or my mother and
Right
my
here.
grandma right here next to me,
Right.
that can prevent it from being something like it was. You know, I mean, whatever was supposed to happen in the world, it kind of already happens. But if we can prevent most of these things, most of our men that are getting dropped off in the Northwest Quadrant deal with mental disability. So we have parks in the city that's nothing but elder men and young men that face mental disability. And just because of they don't know how to express what you guys have put in play, you know, they don't know how to take that anger and put it somewhere else and send code for somebody else. So it's very important to me to make sure if we're going to start something, then we need to start at the root. And that's what you guys are. You're the root. Okay? I'm the root, but I've been planted a lot of places. Probably got twins everywhere. I'm coming for you because I need my currency, okay? But I'm so excited for you guys to come in and break down this dialect. So, Bob, I'm going to get back to you about this event that's coming up on the 29th.
Oh, okay.
Can you elaborate a little bit about that so we can get our community to come out and participate?
So on the 29th, and I have to refresh my memory too, because this is something new.
Okay.
It's called the Black History Month Juneteenth Atlanta Community Initiative
Oh, wow.
and fundraiser. It's actually the event has gotten so big. You know, we're a nonprofit 501(c), and everything has been grassroots from the beginning, just word of mouth, supermarkets, wherever, just talking to people. You know, like saying, educating people on what even it was, and so on and so forth. And so, as you said, it started out and it just really grew. Well, I was just saying that the last event we had, there was over 100,000 people.
Wow.
Which means that's good attendance. I mean, I never would. I mean, even in my wildest dreams, I never, my goal is to have 100,000 people come through this event. That was never it. It's just something that happened.
Well, it's like a magnet. I told you, like when you came down our street, I was like drawn there, like, oh my God, that's Bob. And I was like, not even just.
You just started moving.
It wasn't even about Juneteenth, really, neither.
I need one of those.
Yeah,
too.
that's for you.
Yeah.
It wasn't even about the Juneteenth at that moment for me. It was like, oh, that's Bob. Hold on, Bob. What are you doing? I'm coming.
I'm incurring debt.
You know what I'm saying? And we kind of like ran. It was like a magnet to want to participate in this and want to learn more about it. So
and you know what comes with all that attendance is you have to have things for the people. You have to have water stations. You have to have medical capability. You do have to have security. You have to have insurance. You have to have portable restrooms, and that list just goes on and on and on. So you know that we have went into almost a $600,000-700,000 budget.
Wow.
And I don't know how, I can't even see those type of numbers for, I was just putting something together that people could come out to and enjoy themselves.
Right.
So now our event has 4 stages. We have 4 stages.
4 stages.
Why do we have 4 stages? Because I got tired of telling people we don't have space. We don't have room for your performance.
And that's what I like
what it is you want to do. We don't want to turn anybody down.
Yes. He lets the people get up on the stage, okay? It's not like he's blocking you as an artist or a musician. You were letting them on the stage.
Yeah,
I really appreciate that.
We want that energy. We want that expression, and we just have, we just want people to be respectful. We don't want the profanity. We don't want the suggested violence. We don't want the misogyny. We don't want the racial epithets as being something that we're embracing as people, because I'm definitely not.
Right.
And that's how that works. So we're kind of also influencing our youth, to really go into your lyrics.
That's right.
And say something that moves people and lifts us up.
Authentic.
That's what we're asking for you to do. Yeah. So the thing that we're doing on 29th is really an opportunity for us to educate the public on who we are and what it is that we do and why we do it, what we've done and where we're headed with this. What my goal is to unite this entire state and have representation in the parade from Savannah to Noonan. That every city, no matter how small or how large, is represented. And so then we come together as a state. That's powerful.
Y'all better stop playing with us, okay? You better stop playing, okay? Because this is time. The revolution will not be televised, okay? But we will broadcast it live here with your girl, Adrena Marie. Real talk, real story in the building. We're going to break right now, guys, for a second. And we'll be right back with these messages, okay? Tune in.
We would like to now take a minute to give a shout out to a special friend of Real Talk, Real Stories with Adrena Marie, Broccoli Exterminators with over 40 years of experience, which includes free inspections, clearance letters, and senior discounts of 10%. Satisfaction guaranteed. So for all your exterminator needs, please give Broccoli Exterminators a call at 404-782-1626. That's Broccoli Exterminators. 404-782-1626. Now back to Real Talk, Real Stories with Adrena Marie.
We are going to be giving you some more insights, and I am definitely about to turn this mic over to Bob so he can let us know some information on how we can get in contact with him. So Bob, lay it out for the people. Let them know how they can get in contact with you.
Probably the best way would be my phone number.
Oh, wow.
Usually works.
Can I give a phone number?
You
Is
can.
that okay?
That's awesome.
40
He's giving you guys the real digits.
404 ATL 587-5457 is the phone number. Or my email is juneteenthatlanta@gmail.com. That's super easy.
I'm telling you, Juneteenth Atlanta.
IG is Juneteenth ATL. My website is juneteenthatl.com. And my TikTok is Juneteenth ATL.
I mean, Bob's all up through there, guys. Now, look, let me tell you, make sure you go and just look at his page, sign up for the things that are coming.
Or you can just put it in the universe. Just put it out there and I'll
You
hear
feel
it.
me?
I
And
get
he's gonna
it.
hear you. It's like a train, baby, coming through. Okay? And Kofi, give the people your information too as well.
Yes, my I'm gonna be bold like my elder and give my number too. No, but I'll do it. It's 678. That'll be 855-9751. That's it. You could ring the line. If you really want to know, anything. I'm an open person. I'm like she said. Some people feel like I come off a certain way, but I'm just a serious person. But got the biggest heart in the world.
I'm trying to tell you, honey,
Just don't
mess with
disrespect
the
me.
mamas.
Just don't disrespect me. No.
Don't mess with the elders.
But the email is People's Police Department at gmail.com. The other email you can hit me at is jaguarkhan at gmail.com. And pretty much that. So that's where you can hit me at right now on my IG and all of that. Facebook is Shakur Pushmataha. We are reformulating some things right now, so we're going to be having a whole, just a lot more things coming out as far as website and all of that and all of these things, and we'll be putting together something, on Auburn. Hopefully, something with with Brother Bob. We're going to be putting something together so we can have like a meet and greet for the community. For People's Police and
because it's going
and
to be
what
so
we're doing.
awesome, guys. And I just found out I might be the commissioner for Atlanta. Hey.
Oh,
this
I
is
didn't want to say it
yet.
yet.
I
but
mean, we can drop it. We can drop it. We can drop just a little bit.
Okay, well, this is our first People's Commissioner right here. You know what I'm saying?
How you doing?
Working in the community for
How you
real. You know what
doing?
I'm saying? This is not just what she do
Fantastic.
on
Awesome.
TV or radio. She's really about this.
Right.
I have a lot of respect for this woman. You know what I mean? Even though we've known each other from childhood. But that's not the only reason why, because a lot of people talk this talk, but this woman, we walk through the trenches. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people
literally
don't go. A lot of us are too busy trying to look all fine and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like she look and everything.
Don't let
But
these
she-
looks
you know
fool
what
you
I'm
now.
saying?
I got
But
my
walk
boots
right
in a trunk.
through the gutter, through the wildest crowds and all of that. And I really respect people like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, and it took a minute for me to establish that, but I noticed that, like, growing up with my church, Wheat Street being on Boulevard, Auburn and Boulevard community, it's rural over there too, because when you walk through there, you wouldn't think that these individuals from this community would respect me, just first off, because there's some thugs, okay? Because it's not what you do, it's how you do it, and it's not when you do it, it's what you're doing right now. So if we can be the change right now and we can make a big difference in people's lives, just start in your neighborhood, one block at a time, one community at a time, and one nation at a time. This is your girl, Adrena Marie, Real Talk, Real Stories. We're in the building. It's been an awesome, awesome, awesome morning representing two great generals that are here to set the record straight, and we're coming for you. One city. I don't know what's next. He said, what did you say? Where we going, Bob?
We're going everywhere, worldwide.
Oh, we're worldwide,
Universal.
and it's no limit, okay?
Going to the
So
universe.
tune in, guys.
Bringing
We'll be
the
here.
love.
We'll be here bringing the love, like Bob just said, and bringing some security, and bringing some enlightenment, and bringing some actual facts. Okay, so please make sure you go out there and be the change, guys. I really appreciate my team, and I really appreciate you guys coming in today. It was such a pleasure. I'm looking
to be
forward to really working with you guys for real. And as the new People's Police Commissioner.
Our first commissioner right here.
I mean, this is funny, guys. I pinched myself a couple of times. I can't believe it, okay? So I'm definitely going to make sure that we can get some good community unity, okay? Community unity,
Functional
okay?
unity.
Say that again, Kofi.
Functional unity.
Functional.
That's when our elders
Unity.
came up with that term.
Say that.
Exactly what she's saying. We
Mama
need to
Tamu.
not only have that unity, exactly, Baba. Hey, Kimu,
Functioning.
Anna, and Mama Tamu, love y'all.
Hey, Mama Tamu, thank you, honey.
But yeah, we need unity. Everybody talks about it, but we got to come together and make it function together.
Function. And I
the
think,
way we used to do.
But Kofi, really,
I know
just
we got this.
off of yourself, me, Bob, I think we're moving that
Yeah,
train.
this is an example of functional unity.
I mean, that
right?
train is
You
moving.
already know.
Absolutely.
I didn't even know it was going to move this fast.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, once you put
I'm
things
excited.
in motion, sometimes they just continue, you know.
And you said something earlier about
Put
the
it on the
universe.
right track.
Like with the universe. Oh,
Yeah, put it in the universe.
put it in the
and it's gonna
universe.
manifest.
It manifests
Speak-
right here.
Speak it into existence.
Yes, Lord.
It's a true thing.
That's right. That's
The-
right.
The tongue is powerful.
And
Use
see,
it wisely.
and I think that's why I lost my voice a little bit because, honey, I've been talking junk, okay?
A lot of stuff manifested.
You know, for a long time, okay? But I'm not going to let this stop me from making sure that I get this message out. So, guys, y'all tune in. This is your girl, Adrena Marie. Real talk, real stories. And we'll be right back with these messages. Make sure you like and subscribe, okay? Because your views, your opinions, your concerns mean more to me than anything, okay? We are the people. This is your girl, Adrena Marie. Real talk, real stories.
Hey guys, if you like what you've seen, like, share, and subscribe. This is your girl, Adrena Marie. Real talk, real stories. I'll see you next week.